Last week, we surveyed 40 students and 10 teachers to get their thoughts on how distance learning has been going. The current structure hasn't been working for most people. By highlighting the issues that both students and teachers have been facing and proposing solutions to these problems, distance learning can be more successful if the necessary change is taken.
During distance learning at PHS, there have been many strategies that have been helpful for students. 30% of the students surveyed have mentioned that Zoom/Google Meets is what has been working for them. Pre-recorded video lectures have been a common trend as well. One student said live video lectures have been good, as well as sending pre-recorded lectures. A few students have also expressed that communication is key. One student said that emailing back on time when they have a question makes distance learning succeed.
An overwhelming trend among students who were asked about what hasn't been working is that they said too much work was being assigned. One student said, "Some teachers have been giving us more work than we've had before. I understand that that's difficult to teach right now, but we're in the middle of a pandemic and a lot of students are dealing with other difficulties at home. So then it becomes difficult to get everything done." Some students have also shared that there has been a lack of clarity on what work needs to be completed and when it is due. A final issue that was found is that a lot of the work assigned feels like busy work. One student had to say on the issue, "We're given way too much busy work. Some people have to take care of young siblings and such, and don't have much time on their hands as you think."
The majority of teachers that were polled assigned work twice a week. One teacher reported, "According to the PHS schedule, we have classes 2 days a week. Therefore, I assign work 2 times a week." However, some teachers assign work only once a week. A couple of the teachers mentioned that they post all of the week's work at the beginning of the week, but expect students to, as one teacher phrased it, "dunk it out" throughout the week. Teachers deliver lectures in a variety of time frames. Some teachers hold lectures twice a week, others do once a week, and some teachers have not held any lectures. The teachers were evenly split on how much time they expect students to work on classwork. 6 of the teachers said they expect students to spend 0 to 30 minutes on their schoolwork, and 4 said that they would expect 30 to 60 minutes. However, none of the teachers said they expect students to spend more than an hour on their work for that class.
There was an even split between the preferences of live and pre-recorded lectures. 17 prefer live and 11 prefer pre-recorded. 12 students were impartial. When asked the percentage of students attending the class, half of the teachers said that more than 60% of students show up, with 1 in 5 having at least an 80% attendance rate. 3 teachers had a 40 to 60% attendance rate. There was 1 teacher had a 20 to 40% attendance rate and 1 that had a 20% attendance rate. Though 76% of students have no issues attending online classes and only 23% of students had trouble attending online classes.
When asked about what devices were being used for distance learning, 80% of students recorded using a laptop, 60% of students recorded using a phone, 10% use a Chromebook, 5% have a tablet to use, and less than 3% recorded using a desktop. When asked the percentage of students completing the work, answers were all over the place. 3 out of the 10 of the teachers who did the survey said that 20 to 40% of their students completed the work, while another 3 out of 10 teachers said that 60 to 80% of their students completed the work. The rest of the teachers had answers ranging from 0 to 20, 40 to 60, and 80 to 100% of their students completing their assignments. Here are some extra comments that teachers have left when discussing distance learning.
Many students said that lack of clarity on the work that is being assigned and when it is due is a major issue in the current distance learning situation at PHS. A solution to this problem would be to require that teachers have a Zoom call once a week for checkup. Preferably at the beginning of the week, teachers would lay out the schedule for the week, such as what work must be completed by what date, and answering any clarifying questions that students have.
Good communication is essential for this learning to be successful. It allows the students to know when their assignments are due and where they can voice their questions and concerns. Asking questions allow the students to realize what mistakes that they were making and how to fix it for next time. For example, having a day of the week where students can email questions or hosting an optional Zoom meeting once a week for questions are great methods of communication that have been working for students. Clearly communicating each lesson helps prevent further confusion and stress in this time of uncertainty. Without good communication, students will have a difficult time keeping up with long-distance learning.
Sticking to the schedule and only assigning work due for the class days assigned to avoid assignments continually overlapping will prevent the cause of unwanted stress over due dates. This will also prevent an overwhelming amount of assignments.
Arguably, the biggest issue the students have with the way things are currently is that they are overwhelmed with assignments. It's bad enough having too much work to do, but it can be completely unmotivating when the work doesn't feel impactful. The solution to this prominent issue is simple. Don't assign a ton of work. Obviously, it's not realistic to never assign work, but due to how many students feel stressed with the workload, it is clear that something needs to change. By assigning less work overall and turning that busy work into something impactful, both sides can be pleased. In closing, the coronavirus pandemic has been a wild ride for everyone and will undoubtedly be an unforgettable experience for all that endured it. That being said, education is still highly important to continue with. But what's happening now isn't working for everyone. Hopefully, though, change will come. Change that will better the lives of students and teachers alike.